Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into a specific time, a crucial year, actually, for the early church members
Yeah, we're looking at Doctrine and Covenants, sections 111 through 114.
and the history surrounding them. Right. Kirtland, Ohio, October 1836 to about October 1837.
Exactly. And it's interesting because this period comes right after this amazing spiritual high, the Kirtland Temple dedication.
Right. It's like it really shows how these incredible faith moments can be followed almost immediately by, well, real world challenges.
Big challenges,
Yep.
things that really test what you believe and how you live it day to day.
Absolutely. It's that feeling, maybe you've had it, you feel spiritually solid, maybe something amazing happened, and then bam, life throws things at you.
Like financial stress or maybe disagreements, even with people you look up to. Doubts can start to creep in.
That's pretty much the pressure cooker the early saints were in.
Mm-hmm. And that's why looking at these sections, this history, it's not just history. It's kind of a guide, isn't it?
Yeah, a guide for navigating our own trials, our own questions, strengthening our own faith.
So our goal here, our mission in this deep dive, is to pull out those key insights from the scriptures, yes, but also the context, how these ideas have been taught.
All to help you navigate your own path.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's start with Doctrine and Covenants 111. It's 1836. The church is facing serious debt. You can just imagine the pressure, right?
Oh, yeah. Trying to build this new community, this church, and dealing with that constant financial worry. Joseph Smith, other leaders, they were definitely feeling it.
And what strikes me right away, verse 1, the Lord says, notwithstanding your follies.
It's so human, isn't it? It's like, okay, you're trying, but you're not perfect. There have been mistakes.
It acknowledges the effort despite the mistakes. It kind of makes you think maybe the striving, the trying is what counts most, even when we, mess up.
I think so. And then he talks about finding treasures, verse 10, and this promise in verse 11 to order all things for your good.
Which feels like such a needed shift in perspective when you're drowning in worry. Look beyond the immediate problem, trust there's a bigger picture.
Exactly. Divine providence, right? The idea that even with our follies and our worries, God can bring good things out of it, unexpectedly.
And these treasures, maybe not always gold or silver.
Probably not. Could be insights, opportunities, maybe just a deeper reliance on him that you wouldn't have gained otherwise.
Born out of the struggle itself.
Mm-hmm. And then there's that line, as fast as you're able to receive them.
Yeah, what do you make of that? It's like God's blessings are tied to our capacity.
I think it points to our readiness, faith level, our willingness to actually act, to listen. Are we prepared to receive what he wants to give?
It reminds me of Matthew 6,
Yeah,
Seek first the kingdom of God. Focus on eternal treasures, not just the temporary stuff.
yes, exactly. It's about aligning our hearts, being ready to see and accept his help.
So for you listening, think about a time maybe you were worried, financially or otherwise. Looking back, did you see unexpected blessings, outcomes you couldn't have foreseen?
It really makes you consider where your focus is during those hard times.
Okay, let's pivot now to section 112. Different kind of challenge here.
Yeah, this is interpersonal stuff. Thomas B. Marsh, he's the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles.
Right, top leadership.
And he's upset. He feels like Joseph Smith kind of went around him, calling apostles to go preach in England without really consulting him.
Which shows that even at the highest levels, feelings get hurt, perspectives clash. It's human.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this revelation, section 112, it's given directly because of Marsh's feelings. It's a lesson in how the Lord deals with conflict, with hurt feelings within his church.
And the counsel is just so relevant. Purify your hearts, rebel not, gird up thy loins.
And the big one, maybe, for this situation, be thou humble, verse 10.
Let's talk about that. Humility. What does it mean here, it seems like?
Setting aside your own ego, right, for the bigger picture. Yeah, putting the Lord's work and his direction above your own feelings of being slighted or overlooked. Recognizing your dependence on God.
Being willing to submit, even when it's hard, or maybe comes through someone you're having friction with.
And the promise tied to it is powerful. The Lord leads us by the hand, verses 10 and 13.
Humility opens the door for that guidance, if you're gripping your own plan too tightly.
You can't take his hand, can you? You have to be willing to let go a bit, trust his direction.
Have you ever felt that moment where you just had to let go of your own ideas and trust?
Those are powerful learning moments, aren't they? They really cement why humility isn't weakness, it's strength. It's access to divine help.
And it's important context here. This period, 1837 especially, it got really tough in Kirtland.
Tragically so. Some of the apostles, people who had seen and experienced so much, they turned against Joseph Smith.
It's a sobering reminder, isn't it? Just having a calling or knowing the doctrines, it doesn't automatically mean your faith is unshakable.
Not at all. It highlights this need for deep personal conversion, really knowing Christ, not just knowing about him.
Having that connection, that relationship, that anchors you when the storms hit.
In section 112, particularly verses like 12 through 26, 28, 33, 34, they really dig into what helps build that kind of lasting faith, overcoming trials by deepening that conversion.
What stands out to you in those verses about the difference between knowing of Jesus and really knowing him?
For me, it's verses like 11, 14, 24, 26. There's an emphasis on experience, on feeling his influence, on acting, bearing testimony, building others up.
So it's active. It's not passive knowledge.
Yeah, actually. It's in the doing, the serving, the sharing that the knowing becomes real, becomes part of you. It moves from the head to the heart.
That makes sense. Okay, let's shift slightly again to section 113. This one's interesting. It's interpreting prophecy.
Yeah, Isaiah chapter 11. Specifically verses 1 and 10 about a rod and a root coming from Jesse.
Jesse being King David's father, right? An important lineage.
Correct. So this section, 113, explains what that means for the latter days.
So who are the rod and the root, according to this revelation?
Well, the rod is described as a servant holding priesthood keys, someone instrumental in gathering God's people, and it points to Joseph Smith.
Okay.
And the root is also identified as someone with priesthood keys for that gathering work, emphasizing that leadership lineage for Israel's gathering.
So think about the early saints in Kirtland. They're facing financial ruin, leadership crises. How would hearing this interpretation of Isaiah have helped them?
Oh, tremendously, I think. It puts their struggles in a much bigger context. This isn't just random chaos. It's part of a divinely foretold plan unfolding.
It validates Joseph's role, gives meaning to their sacrifices. They're part of something ancient, something prophesied.
Exactly. The gathering of Israel. It provides purpose, even amidst the pain and confusion.
Which makes you think, what is it in section 113? Or just this idea of being part of a larger divine work that inspires you, listening now, to stay strong and participate today?
It connects our efforts now to that same ongoing prophetic work.
Now, just briefly, let's touch on how these big ideas translate simply. Like, how would we explain some of this to, say, kids?
That's a great exercise. Okay, section 111. The core idea is that true treasures aren't money or stuff.
Right. The real treasures are faith, understanding God, spiritual things, things that last. That's pretty universal.
Definitely. And section 112, the main takeaway is humility brings guidance.
Like the hymn, Be Thou Humble. When we're humble, the Lord can lead us by the hand. It's a simple, powerful image.
Very powerful. And also from 112 verse 11, that call to love everyone, even people who aren't nice to us.
Like Jesus did on the cross. It's about choosing love even when it's hard. That's a principle anyone can understand and try to live.
Absolutely. So wrapping this up, we've journeyed through a really pivotal and frankly difficult year for the early church.
Yeah, from the highs of the temple to the lows of financial stress and internal conflict.
And through it all, we've seen these revelations offering perspective. The Lord's providence, even in our follies, the absolute necessity of humility for guidance.
The call for deep personal conversion to Christ, not just surface belief, and the reminder of Joseph Smith's prophetic role in this whole unfolding drama.
In section 114, though we didn't focus on it specifically, fits right in, dealing with organizing the priesthood, preparing for the future work, even amidst the current troubles. It all ties together.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you to take away. Consider those early saints. They had this amazing spiritual peak and then immediately faced intense trials. How can you, right now, actively choose humility? How can you deepen your trust in God's guidance, especially when you're facing your own challenges?
Maybe take some time this week to really think about how these principles from over 180 years ago apply directly to your life today. How can they help strengthen your faith and light up your path forward?
Early in the morning the people came, hearts full of hope and hands worn through pain. They built this house with faith and song, a place for the Spirit to dwell. This is the house the Lord has blessed, a holy place of peace and rest. He walked these halls, he heard their prayer. He said, my name shall be here. lifted, the heavens near. Angels sang and prophets appeared. Elijah came and Moses too, restoring power old and new. This is the house the Lord has blessed, a holy place of peace and rest. He walked these halls, he heard their prayer. He said, my name shall be here. The veil was lifted, the heavens near. Angels sang and prophets appeared. Elijah came and Moses too, restoring power old and new. This is the house the Lord has blessed, a holy place of peace and rest. He walked these halls, he heard their prayer. He said, my name shall be here. Now temples shine around the world. With every stone his truth is heard. This is the house the Lord still blesses, a place of light where love confesses. We come with faith, we leave with grace, for he still meets us in this place.